I am live, local, and late breaking. I am live, and I'm going to see if anyone is going to hop on because I want to show you all just a snippet of what we're going to be talking about next week for the 4-day masterclass. And I'm going to be talking about the WMBE certification and securing contract opportunities in pharma. Not just in pharma, but government and state contracts. So I want to wait just a little bit for everything to go okay. And I'm going to look to make sure that I'm actually live on LinkedIn and YouTube and both YouTube channels. I've got two of them. I am. So again, I am getting some new followers and I will introduce myself. But before I do, I'm going to go ahead and place the link in the comment section for the 4-day masterclass that we will be doing next week. And as I mentioned, we will be talking about the WMBE certification for clinical research entrepreneurs who are minorities and woman-owned minority. Let's see, comments. Oh, that's not what I really want. Or maybe I did. Okay. I'm going to be showing you what the platform looks like whenever you get ready to go register or apply for the certification. And I will share my screen. And anyone that's new to my channel, hello. I am Alicia Moore, and I am the CEO of Clinical Science Research Solutions, and I'm also the founder of I.A.M Research and Wellness Foundation. And I want to show you all what I came across and actually what my mother told me about a few months ago. And it's called I'm going to share my screen right quick. Equal opportunity. This is where you go to get started for the Women Minority Business Enterprise certification process. This conversation came about because my mother is a business owner and she has also applied for this certification. She told me about it, a couple months ago. And whenever I went to the website, which was the wrong website, I was like, man, they're charging for it. I'll just have to wait and go back to it. Well, I went to the wrong website and I found out that they do not charge. You can register for free. So I did that. And here we are today. She also explained to me that for her, having this certification really opened up more opportunities to land contracts. And I'm really excited to share this information with you all in the clinical research space because it's something I didn't know anything about until she told me. And I also didn't know like Pharma actually works with women that have this certification. So, but let me make for sure as I'm going through the screen that it's showing what it needs to show. And I'm going to look at my screen right quick, or not my screen. Let's see. Oh, my live. I'm going to have to put it on mute. Hold on just a second. Okay. So yeah, let's see. No thanks. Did it go away? It's not going away. Oh, here it is. So if you live in Missouri, it's my understanding that each state kind of has their own criteria. Maybe you need to be in business for 2 years as a minority, or you need to be in business for 3 years. But I do know for Missouri, you have to be in business for at least 2 years. And I think like your net worth has to be less than $800,000 or something like that, $800,000 or your business net worth. That's something we'll get into next week whenever I get ready to go through the 4-day masterclass. I am learning a lot. I'm really excited to share this with you all because it's an untapped opportunity that's not discussed in the clinical research space. And as an entrepreneur, you really want to leverage all the opportunities that you can to ensure you have multiple streams of revenue coming in to you. Okay, so this is the actual website for Missouri that I had to go to get registered. And I want to show you like what the actual platform looks like. Let me make for sure that this doesn't do anything weird. And it's doing some weird stuff. I think I'm going to have to stop sharing my screen. Let me remove that. And then stop the sharing. It's not what I want. I don't know. Maybe this will act right. I'm waiting for. Let me know if you can see my screen. This is actually pretty slow today. It's not what I want. Let's see. Sorry, you all. But I need to make sure that whenever I show you this. Oh, yeah. Okay, good. You can see it. Yay. Okay, so I live in Missouri, and this is the process that I took to actually get registered for the certification. So, what you're going to see is you go to supplier certification program, and you'll see the WMBE certification program. And you will go to, first of all, make sure you know the documents that you need. And on this website, it's going to show you the exact documents that you need, and it's not showing on my screen. Actually, it is. I don't know why it's doing some weird stuff on here. Okay, but anyway, I will tell you off the top of my head and what I actually had to turn in. And it took me a while to gather all this information. So for all applicants, you're going to need an updated resume. They need to see, what kind of qualifications that you have as you're, uploading this. They're saying, and they also need your federal tax returns from the last 3 years. So I started in 2023, so 2025, I'll have 3 years worth of tax returns. This is the SOS registration. So it's a documentation showing the business is active or in good standing in Missouri. And you should get that registration not long after you register business with whatever state that you're in. It's going to ask for proof of identification, birth certificate. For Native Americans, you may provide a tribal record. And if you're born outside of the U.S., documentation of naturalized citizenship or proof of lawfully admitted permanent resident status is needed. Another document you'll need, and see, this is really nice. They provide kind of like a checkbox so you can go through and check it. And actually, whenever you go into the portal and you start uploading those documents, what you'll find is you'll go back into, it's a place where you kind of refresh your screen, and it will show you some more documents that you need in order to proceed with the certification process. This certification process takes 60 to 90 days to complete. But these are some of the documents you'll need: bank authorization form, organizational chart of your business, an affidavit of the certification, payroll of 2 months, transfer documentation, articles and certificate of organization, a partnership agreement. What else? You have to show that you're an LLC, if that's what you are. And some additional documents, you have to make sure you have your business insurance, or if you have loan or security agreements, leased or owned equipment, licenses, permits, hall authority forms, a business plan, trust agreements, and a W-2 1099 form. As I said, it was a lengthy process that I had to go through, but it's so well worth going through this process because, again, it's not something we talk about in the industry because I didn't know anything about it. And then you are positioning yourself to receive multiple streams of income that I've never thought was even I didn't even know existed, to be honest, until my mother told me about it. So we just went through the documents needed, and then you're going to go through a questionnaire. It's kind of like a screening process. Am I ready to apply? So this is what it looks like. It's going to ask you, now this is not for a nonprofit business. It has to be for a for-profit business. I'm going to pretend like I'm filling this out for the first time. I'm going to say, yes, it's a for-profit business. It's going to say, great. Now, if you select no, it's going to tell you this business is not eligible to apply for the MBE certification at this time. Please read the rules before proceeding with your application. So this right here is telling you a nonprofit organization. It's not it. So if your business is a nonprofit based in Missouri, but doing work outside of the state, please contact our office. More than likely, you should have a for-profit business. It's going to tell you, great. Is the business at least 51% owned by minorities and or women in the United States or lawfully admitted permanent residents of the U.S.? You should say yes. And then question number 3, is the business controlled and operated by at least 51% minorities or women in the U.S.? Yes. And what's a blessing for me is I am 100% owner of my own business. You can be 51% owner of your business as a minority, and you would still qualify for the certification process. Now, this is just catered to Missouri. Is your business registered with the Missouri Secretary of State? Yes. If I select no, it's going to tell you to go ahead and register your business with the Missouri Secretary of State. And it gives you the link to go to the website. You will be required to show proof of the information outlined in questions 1 through 4 above. Do you have all the documents you need to proceed to complete this application? Yes, as long as you have all the documents and you've gone through, like, hey, the documents you need, it will go a lot faster. But if not, that's okay. It may take you a little time to gather all the information. Anyway, question number 6, have you read the rules outlined for the certification program? You're going to select yes. It's going to tell you, great. Have you identified the codes? So whatever business that you have to offer, whatever services you have to offer, there are specific codes that relates to your particular business that you have to assign codes to. That way, whenever you get ready to bid on the contracts, you're bidding on the right contracts for your business. Also, let's say you have the codes. If you don't have the codes, it will tell you, here's a list of the codes right here. And it's a whole laundry list of codes. Raw materials, industrial equipment, components, services. More than likely, it depends on your business model. Let's say, let's say if you have a transportation business, this would be one of the codes that you would choose. And then sometimes there are other codes to choose within that, these codes. So if you have a transportation business, what kind of transportation business do you have? Again, this is just to show you like all the different codes that you'll have to choose from. And for example, if you have educational services, this is another code that you would input. But then what kind of educational services do you have? Vocational training, alternative educational systems, educational institutions, specialized educational services, educational facilities. And then if you click on what did I just click on? Educational institutions, elementary, junior, university colleges, professional schools. So again, just to show you what this process looks like as you're actually going through and filling out the application. And let me go back. Oops. That's not what I want. Okay, am I ready to apply? Documents needed. And then we're not going to get into that. How to become certified. There are resources out here that tell you exactly what you need to know. So, but again, I want to condense that for you. That way you don't have to go looking all over the place come next week. And I am really hoping that you all register for this event because it's going to be a game changer in your career. If you are an entrepreneur, if you are a minority entrepreneur, and if you are a woman. So this goes over the eligibility criteria. Again, you have to own 51% of your business as a woman or minority, and you have to hold the highest position in your company and be capable of exercising direct control over daily and long-term decisions regarding the management, policy, and operations of the business. And the business must be organized as a for-profit business. I will reiterate, it cannot be a nonprofit organization. This goes over the application process. We just kind of went through that a second ago. And again, I'm just showing you what this looks like for anybody that's a Missourian. Comment in the, hi, Dr. Crane, comment in the section below. But every state has this application process. And again, it's different for every state. Also, another reason why I remember whenever my mom mentioned this opportunity, I saw where they had to do an on-site visit. Well, at the time, I'm like, well, I don't have a building. And at the time, she didn't. Well, maybe she did. Well, anyway, I said, well, Mom, I don't have the building. So this really, I'm automatically disqualified. She said, well, just go ahead and see what they say and just go from there. Well, on the flip side, I ended up, and I'll tell you how I found out you don't have to have a physical building. I ended up going to Verizon, and that's something I'll talk about later. Verizon has a grant, $10,000. The due date has already passed for people that have your own businesses. And in order to unlock that grant, you have to take 2 of their courses, whether it's a webinar or the actual course or 2 webinar courses. I did like 2 of the courses, and I actually learned a little bit more about the WMBE certification process. And so I learned that you don't have to have a physical building. A lot of the services that people have, it's remote. It doesn't require a physical building. So I went ahead and I thought, well, this is a great opportunity for me to go ahead and proceed. So that's what I found out. I don't have to have a physical building. Of course, and if you do, it tells you like the on-site visit is 15 to 30 minutes. So after going through the whole process and you become certified, actually, before you even get your certification, you can actually start bidding on contracts way before that, because the certification process, as I said, it takes 60 to 90 days for them to even finish. And then also it'll give you time to get your RFPs together. There's a statement. What else? There's a couple different statements that you have to get together. One to upload into sam.gov. And again, we'll be going over that next week in the 4-day masterclass. Make sure you register for that. So for me, I have my nonprofit organization registered with sam.gov. Then I'm going to turn around and register my business, for-profit business, CSRS, in sam.gov too, because what that means is you'll be able to bid on government contracts and state contracts. And also you'll be able to be eligible for contracts in pharma too. So there's state, federal contracts, and pharma contracts. Keep that in mind. And also, as I mentioned before, the old way of looking for jobs or opportunities that doesn't really work. I mean, you can still, because I still work my day job, you can still look for those opportunities, but it is really in your best interest if you don't have a business. Some people are not entrepreneurs. They really don't want to do the work. But in order to expand your opportunities, and I call it a three-prong pathway. So you have your certification that opens many, many doors, because now you are open to government contracts, state contracts, pharma contracts. And then let's say you have your day job and now you have partnered with a tech organization, business that has clientele that you can service them as well. So moving into 2026, you really need to open up your eyes and ears and brain. And you don't know what you don't know, right? You need to open up your thinking process and think outside the box, because the traditional way of getting a job is not necessarily a thing now. It's very difficult. But getting this certification will open up many doors that I never would have ever thought of. Now, again, I'm going through the initial process. I turned my application in on December the 12th. As I said, it's 60 to 90 days for them to go through. And they also, let's say, for instance, if there's an error or there's something missing, I'm going to stop sharing my screen because I just wanted to show you a bit of a snippet of what this looks like on the back end. If there's like any kind of error, they give you the opportunity to fix it. So it's worth the process of going through. It's worth you taking a look at it, because again, once you have registered with sam.gov, that process takes about 7 to 14 days to you get your hello Jasmine, you get your certification, and then you are able to bid on contracts. Hi, how are you doing? You guys, this is a raw, uncut, live video. And this is just a snippet of what I'm going to be talking about next week. And I'll say it again, just to reiterate what you all will be learning. And this is an untapped market. Whenever I started doing some more digging around, as I said, my mother mentioned it to me. I am very passionate about, if you go back and listen to my videos, I'm very passionate about the B2B clientele, because they're able to fund your services. They're able to fund you as a business owner. And then as a minority business owner, well, it is mandated by the government that corporations have to do business with you. So you're leaving money on the table whenever you don't get these certifications, or you're not on LinkedIn presenting your way as a problem solver in this industry, for them to say, okay, I want to work with you. It may hurt somebody's feelings, but getting on LinkedIn and complaining about problems, you're not solving the problem for your ideal client. You're not solving a problem, let's say, like well, I'll get into it later, for your B2B client. They don't want to hear that. That what they want to know is, how well can you solve the problem? Is it at a convenience for me, for the business? And can you help them save money while solving the problem, right? And I want to see if you all have any questions as I'm going through this. As I said, this is not a formal live event, but I just wanted to show you, the back end on what it's like to get the application process started. And then also, once you're done with the application, once you hit submit, don't hit submit until you are completely done. Once you hit submit, you can't go back and revise it. I want to see if there. There is the link to the registration. I can't wait to talk to you all about it. As I said, it's an untapped market, untapped way of generating revenue. And I'm going to tell you, I've seen some of those contracts that you can win. Of course, as I said, excuse me, you can prepare for that, get your RFPs together. And there's a couple different narratives, statements that you have to piece together as well before you actually go through the bidding process. But your services are needed. You just need to make sure that whatever services you have is going to fit their needs, right? You're not going to be able to help everybody, and that's okay. I'm going to through that process. Oh, awesome. And yes, and that's another thing. It's not just for women too. It's for men as well. Um, but yeah, the present. Okay, let's see. So the presentation, the 4-day masterclass, it is next week. It starts on December 15th through the 18th. And if you're not able to make it, and I'll post the, let's see, did I post the link? Can you see the link in the comments? It's 4 days. And if you're not able to make it to the lives, don't worry. I have them all as replays. And then once I'm done with my 4-day series, what I normally do is I create like a course out of it. That way you have like access to all those courses like in one spot within Thinkific. I love doing that. And it's nice to hear from you. I haven't talked to you in a while, Alfredo. You all post your questions. And you can also DM me too if you need the link as well. But I've got it right here. And then after I'm done with the video, I'll post the link like in the comment section again. And then like at the top, I think I should be able to post it at the top and say, hey, register for this 4-day masterclass. Again, I'm really excited about doing this masterclass. And as a matter of fact, let me go ahead and show you. Let me see if I can show you. So this is what the registration form looks like. It's very simple. I probably should have had my marketing team create it, but they've been busy doing other things for me, and I didn't want to bother them too much. I bothered them enough as it is. So here's what it looks like. It's a free 4-day masterclass. My last masterclass for this year. Next year, my masterclasses are going to be a little different. The way I want to do it is I still want to keep it business oriented because I feel like we need more topics around on what it takes to actually be an entrepreneur in the clinical research space, because that's where we are, and the reality of it, the time it takes to get through these certification processes, or the time it takes to land like major contracts with bigger organizations. It's not just a hop, skip, and a jump. And then the amount of money it takes for you to actually invest in your business, it's quite a bit. And you're probably not going to see a rate of return, like a real profit, until, later on down the line. But having this certification will actually put you in the position to win contracts. So let's say, for instance, if you're making $100,000 a year, well, you can land a contract for $100,000 on top of your day job. Because be realistic, if this stuff is not necessarily, even if it's given to you, we still have to work our day jobs while we're building the business, which that's fine. But again, you have to think of ways of generating revenue and not just your day job. And this is another way of doing it. And again, as I'm excited to share these opportunities with you, and I hope you're able to take some nuggets and learn something from it and apply it to your business. Okay. Yes, we do need to catch up. We do. Okay. Let me go back. Okay. We can chat later. Absolutely. It was nice seeing you. All righty. This is what you're going to learn during the 4 days: how to discover how to become a certified WMBE minority business owner, right? So on day one, we're going to talk about the certification in the clinical research, the power move that it's going to have for you and what nobody talks about. Day two, we're going to, which we kind of went over that today, but we'll go into more details. What you need to prepare, documents, proof, identity, and business legitimacy. And day three, how LinkedIn visibility makes your certification more powerful. And then day four, we'll talk about the revenue blueprint. Now, I'm not promising you anything, but what I can tell you is there's proof in the pudding. And then we'll be going over, I'm going to try to find some case studies. My mother, she's one of them. She's a real good case study, if you will. And it's proof that the certification process is needed. And yeah, because again, it exposes you to a whole different B2B clientele. And I'm telling you, whenever I say I've seen the contracts that you can land, wow, it was pretty amazing. And then also, I was pretty shocked at Pharma. I didn't realize, I've seen a little bit like in sam.gov, grants.gov, but I did not know that some of the CROs and sponsors, they actually have the verbiage on there. If you are a woman minority business enterprise, so if you have that certification, again, that gives you the opportunity to win those particular contracts. And yes, I know Alfredo, he said he was going through the process too, and they do have it for men as well. But I'm going to be focusing on my ladies. Let's see if I have any more questions. I don't think I do. So, yes, 2026, we are claiming it's going to be a better year for all of us. Take advantage of the opportunities. I want you to get in the mindset that it's going to take a while to get these things going. Again, it's not an overnight process, and the money flow is not an overnight process too. And also, for those that kind of have a fairy tale belief on what it takes to start a business, I'm going to need for you to get out of that mindset, because you're going to have to spend the money. You're going to have to spend money. And I'm not talking $5,000 either, not even 20. It's going to be not 25. I will tell you right now, as I'm going through my taxes for this year, I've spent quite a bit, but it's worth it though. You have to invest in your business. You really do. And which investing in your business means you're investing in yourself. And then you're also making your business more desirable, because you are putting in the work that you need to ensure that your client, whoever your clients are, you're going to be able to serve them 100%. Okay. I think this ends the live. I don't see any more questions coming through. But again, also go to my LinkedIn page, my event page. And you guys, another thing, CSRS and I.A.M, we're going to have some events coming up next year. I'm going to make sure I get that all planned out. We're talking about summits. I'm going to make sure I'm going to have a summit, I think probably in February or March. I haven't decided on the month. I think I'm going to do March. I don't know. There's a summit that I'm going to have, our in-person conference that we're still working on. And then just a whole various of things. And if things change, I will let everyone know. But I'm looking forward to 2026. It's going to be a life-changing event, because I've been working really hard behind the scenes on building the foundation. That foundation is built, if you will, in a lot of ways. So now it's time for the execution process. And I'm still going to be talking about site ownership, because this is still a part of it. um, as your business model. Because even if you are a site owner, you still need to register and get that certification, the WMBE certification. Okay. Well, this is going to end the live, and I will see you all next week, 5 p.m. sharp. And we're going to have a lot of fun. We're going to learn a lot. I'm learning a lot too during this masterclass. And again, as I'm going through the process, I will create more master classes and webinars so I can show you exactly what these steps looks like, what it looks like behind the scenes, and what's working, what doesn't work, and so forth. Okay. Until next time, remember December 15th, 5 p.m. Central Standard Time. If you can't make it to the live, the recordings will be there. Ciao.